Hi everybody, welcome back to Story Behind the Story. I'm your host, Keegan Cooper. This week we'll be joined by Rachel to talk about Moo Moo Burger, talk to James about Sex in the Station, and Justin Quick about Bearcat Football. First joining us is going to be Justin. A big win for them, 41-0.
Yeah, it was a good win. Good win. Good to see them come out a little hungry.
Yeah.
Start the game after how they came out against UCO a little slow. But yeah, their defense came out hungry like they had something to prove. Gave up 43 rushing yards on 31 attempts. So that was something. Hopefully they move forward with that. Yeah.
Look forward to that. What did Coach Wright have to say about the win? 41-0. I know they after that loss against Central Oklahoma, you got to come out hungry, and they definitely did. You could see that.
Yeah. He said they actually simplified a lot of the defensive strategies they've been working with, and just let the guys go out there and beat their one-on-one matchups. And that was something that obviously paid off really well for him. But he was very happy about the win, the way they came out and attacked early on after that slow start they had against Central Oklahoma, and he was happy to see them bounce back the way they did. You saw a little bit in the fourth quarter against the Broncos, but for them to be able to carry that throughout the entire game and have an opportunity to get those second stringers in late in the game again, kind of get them a little bit more experience for down the line.
The Bearcat defense had 6 tackles and 7 QB touches in that game, so they came out hungry most definitely. What can we look to see that more with that defense? Bearcat defense, Bearcat football in general has always been pretty defensive bound. So what can we look to see that throughout the season?
The defense is definitely going to be a big role, especially the front 7 this upcoming week with Pitt State. Pitt State put up 302 rushing yards against Lindenwood, and if they're able to do anything like that, it's probably not going to be close. They're going to have to come out and really control the rushing attack that Pitt State puts on. They like to run the triple option a little bit, and that's something they have to prepare for as well. But the front 7, the D line and the linebackers, they're really going to play a key role in this game and moving forward through the rest of the season, as their secondary has struggled and they're still trying to figure some things out there.
I got you. So defense is going to be key against Pitt State coming up. Looking back at that Emporia State game, as a coach for the other team, what do you say to your players again? I know when you get shut out, when you get beat like that, what do you tell them? What can they look forward to move on? Look to get out of that.
A game like that, you have a lot to learn from. You go in, you do the best you can to win the game, obviously, but when you come out with a shutout loss like that, a big blowout, you have a lot to learn from. You got a lot of film to watch. You've got, you can't let it rest on you for the rest of the season and kind of let it drag you down the rest of the season. You've got to move on from that game, but at the same time learn from those mistakes that you made in that game and hopefully turn that into a positive.
I got you. And moving forward for Bearcat football, Pitt State coming up, and this game could very well decide the MIAA conference. Yep. Pitt State's still undefeated. Northwest has lost 1 game. So what can we look to see in that game? Because I know it's going to be a dogfight.
Yeah, it's going to be a crazy atmosphere too. They've always crazy atmosphere there at Pitt whenever Northwest comes to town. They've been the 2 top dogs in the MIAA since Pitt's joined, and it just shows where they're at now. Is they've gotten back to that perennial. The powerhouse is coming into the game. Northwest ranked 16, Pitt at 8, and it should be a really good game. I think the defense is going to show up the way they did against Emporia. I hope they show up, because if the defense doesn't show up, their offense is going to have to do a lot to keep up with Pitt State. But at the same time, they've been kind of preparing for that loud atmosphere as well, kind of blaring the jumbotron there during practice every day. Coach Wright told us it's going to be cranked up all week.
Thanks for joining me, Justin, and I look forward to seeing that game. Let's get another win for Bearcat football. We'll be right back with Story Behind the Story. I'm Keegan Cooper, your host. When we come back, we'll talk to James about Sex in the Station. Joining us next is James. We're going to talk about Sex in the Station. How you doing, James?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
I'm excited. I'm excited to have you. So what is Sex in the Station? Can we just kind of talk a little bit about that? What really is it?
Well, Sex on the Station is an event sponsored by Wellness Services, and it serves as a way for students to come and learn about sex and the importance of being safe and being educated, especially here on a college campus. That's a very strong thing to talk about, because most of us, I know from my own personal experience, I did not have a sex ed class in high school, so I came here knowing nothing. So going to events like these, I got to learn about what sex is, how important consent is, and that sort of thing, as well as getting some of the supplies I would need to practice safe sex.
I got you. And consent, that is a big topic. So what were some of the things that students were able to attend to kind of learn a little bit more about consent and the process at Sex and the Station?
Of course. Well, there was a table done by University Police with Lieutenant Amanda Cullen, focusing specifically on the importance of consent and like how to ask for consent and understanding when someone is to the point where they cannot physically give their consent. So if like they're intoxicated or high on drugs, they are not physically able to give consent. While they may say, yeah, sure, that's fine, they're not in the right mind to be giving the consent. But overall, the overarching theme was, at all the tables, was like consent is so important. It's the thing you need to have. It's the most important thing to have, aside from being safe and that sort of a thing. But just making sure that you are asking that question and preventing any issues that could develop later. Because one act could turn horrible in a matter of seconds without consent.
I got you. And this topic, it isn't something that you usually talk about in public. So how were they able to kind of put it in a setting where students were able to go and feel comfortable kind of talking about these things?
Yeah, sex isn't necessarily something people want to talk about in the middle of campus. But the way they did it is they had a number of tables set up in Station Center where you could go around like different booths and stuff. Like one focused on how people that are disabled and in wheelchairs can still practice safe sex. One was on consent. There was another table on how to apply a condom.
Encouraging students to participate, become educated, and learn the safe way to practice these things, most definitely.
It's definitely something important to talk about as college students because it's such a huge thing that we talk about. Like just looking at the number of sexual assaults that take place on college campuses, it's so important to get out there and have these conversations with people and educating people and making sure like, hey, you need to have consent or you need to practice safe sex. And having those conversations here helps people know that, hey, that what you're doing is not okay. Let's strive to do better and do this instead.
To be able to step in at a point and say, okay, this is not right. This is the right way to do things, and we need to be able to have these conversations with students so they're informed, they're educated, and they can practice it.
And this is definitely probably one of the best events that you could go to have that conversation because that is the topic. It's not viewed as something scary or as a sin by some religions. It's viewed as this is a place to come and have a conversation and educate yourself and make yourself a more knowledgeable person. And just understanding not every person views sex in the same way, but this is a great way to come and learn about things that you normally don't talk about or learn about ever. Because most sex ed classes just preach abstinence and that's about it. But events like this actually are saying like, hey, this is how this works. This is what this is. Explaining things that you normally don't talk about in a classroom type setting, but this is the setting where you can go and actually have those conversations.
I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to me today, James. We had a great discussion. I encourage students to attend these events, become educated, and practice safely. But thanks you for joining me. We'll be right back with Story Behind the Story. We're going to talk to Rachel about Moo Moo Burger coming to campus. My name is Keegan Cooper, and we're here with Story Behind the Story. Joining us next is Rachel. We're going to talk about Moo Moo Burger coming to campus. How are you doing, Rachel?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to talk about this. A burger and French fry place with shakes coming to campus, and I am super excited. But what is Moo Moo Burger for those of us who don't know?
Yes, Moo Moo Burger is going in place of Papa John's. Should be here in the spring semester, and it is a fast casual burger joint, kind of like Five Guys if you've ever been to that restaurant. They have burgers, fries, and shakes. So the university goes through Airmark, and Airmark provides a service called Market Match where they really study the students and the flow of restaurant choosing and where students tend to go, and what restaurants are having more students purchase things from them and that kind of thing. It takes about 3 to 4 months, and they interview, send out polls, just really see where the students are going for food.
Does it work like other fast food restaurants? Is it going to function? You said it's similar to a Five Guys, so we can expect to see it kind of function like that.
Yes, so I think the goal for the station really was to put a community in there and have a more sit-down restaurant, because with pizza it was just, you could call in and get it delivered and you just grab and go. But with the fast casual, you can either get it to go, but it's also encouraged to stay and sit and hang out in there and enjoy your meal with some friends and build a community in the station and put more students in there more often.
Are they looking at expanding kind of that to make it more of a dining area, kind of adding more seats in there, kind of expand it a little bit?
They actually just got it contracted, so I am not 100% sure what it's going to look like yet. I saw some branding from Moo Moo and their requirements that they have there. I think it's looking to be a similar setup of Papa John's with those seating area out to the side of the restaurant.
What kind of atmosphere? So we're looking to build that kind of restaurant thing. Can we look to see that for other places? Is that kind of the vibe they're getting for campus? Can we look to see anything else coming up soon?
Yes, so when I was speaking with Alan Mays, he's the facility services director, they were talking about possibly opening up that dining area in the Union on the second floor where the retail food is, and there's an outdoor pavilion kind of area, and I think there's only 1 or 2 doors over there to go outside, but opening that up and putting more doors into the pavilion area, or maybe even having it so it can fully open up when it's nice outside, and expanding there just to get more seating, because there's not very many options over in that area right now.
And with Moo Moo Burger coming to us in the spring, hopefully, can we look to see more promotional events happening? Maybe some free samples. I'm a big free samples guy. I want to eat all the free samples that there is ever. So can we look to see some of those maybe?
They're planning on it. When I spoke with Spencer Martin, the Airmark director, he said that we should be starting to see promotions for that within a week or so. I'm not sure if that timeline is still accurate because they did push back the opening since I last spoke to him. So I believe there will be promotions at some point, and he did say they would be giving out free samples to kind of promote what the restaurant's going to be like, a couple milkshakes or something here and there over in the station.
Moo Moo Burger coming to campus, so Northwest students and the community of Maryville can look forward to, having that here. Maybe we'll have 2 cows on campus with, everybody's favorite Chick-fil-A and stuff like that. But I want to thank you for joining me today, Rachel, talking to us about Moo Moo Burger. I'm excited, yes, for the free samples, but also for Moo Moo Burger to be coming to campus. I want to take the time to thank all of our guests today. Justin for coming and talking to us about Bearcat football, James for joining us with Sex in the Station, and Rachel talking to us about Moo Moo Burger. I'm excited to see that. You can catch Story Behind the Story live on Facebook and KZLX at 12 on Thursday during Student Media Day, or Monday through Thursday at 6:30 p.m. on KNWT Channel 8.